This is Corey Willis with PPEI, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
I'm Adam Blattenberg from Diesel World.
This is Dan, owner of Dan's Diesel Performance.
I'm Kaz from Diesel Doctor of Tennessee, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
What is going on, Diesel Nation? We're glad you guys could join us today on the #1 diesel truck podcast on iTunes. Today we're going to be chatting with Devin from Certified Autosound, and we're going to be talking about customization to trailers and vehicles. They do a lot of really cool things. They've been involved in some SEMA builds, race trailers, tons of different things, which is a whole kind of different element than what we normally talk about on the Diesel Podcast, but it goes hand in hand with the racers out there, the companies that are going to events all over North America, and the incredible amount of technology and infrastructure and talent and things they can do with their service. So we know you guys are going to like hearing about it. We also are going to touch on the BT Diesel dirt drags, and Devin has an LBZ that he's done some modifications to, and the company has an L5P, and we're going to ask him how an event like the BT Diesel dirt drags allows them to be able to put their expertise and their service in front of truck owners and other companies and just be able to showcase what they do, whether it's sound or lighting or anything like that. So we're really excited to be able to chat with them. Before we get to it, we want to encourage you guys to go to the BD Diesel Facebook page and go to the upcoming events. You'll find the BD Diesel Dirt Drags, location, start time, any information that you need, it's all right there. Or go to dieselperformance.com, and on their website, you'll see the event listed there as well. All right, let's get to the podcast with Devin and talking about some lighting, sound, tons of different things they're able to do for trailers and vehicles. Devin, it is fantastic to have you on the Diesel Podcast today to be able to chat about some really cool and custom things that you guys do and about your trucks and the BD Diesel event coming up this week. So we're glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I wanted to start, we were chatting before the podcast a little bit about what your company does. It's really cool, and I wanted to have you tell our listeners what you guys do and some custom things and that you're able to offer your customers, and whether they're in diesel or other industries. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, no, it's always something new to learn and, of course, keep up with as everything changes. The biggest thing that we talk about is customization to a vehicle. That would be for, of course, your driving experience. So everything interior-wise, some lighting, everything like that. Like when you have interiors that want fabrication to be built around roll cages per se, or someone's wanting their trailer to be to a much higher level, everything can be, of course, done to that or exceed their goals, which is always a fun attempt, of course.
I think the first time I was introduced to customization of trailers, truly, was going to some of the diesel events here. And, these guys have really expensive, high-performance sled-pulling trucks, and then they have a trailer to back up the truck, and it's just how much customization is there. Like, is that what you guys get as well as, somebody, buys a trailer, comes in, tells you what, they want, and, like the creativity can flow at that point, as far as delivering it to them?
Oh, 100%. You have trailers that come in that are raw slates, or some that they've spent money on to get accessories put in that are just, well, not to the level of the owner in this case, but yeah, you'll have race trailers that come in where the guy's flat out explaining to you that he spent X amount of dollars on it and he doesn't want to double it just on the trailer, and then you try and meet every single level. Like the last trailer we built, we have every single panel is made out of acrylics. It's cut out on our laser and CNC'd. And then we have, in this case, that one had lights on the interior, the exterior. It had a flux capacitor installed in it because he was also going to be hauling his DeLorean, which is on order, which was a really cool thing to discuss.
That is cool.
Of course, but yeah. Yeah, literally cameras are on the interior watching his vehicle. So when he's driving with his tow set up, he can actually see interior shots from the front and the rear, making sure the vehicle or the load is, of course, secured and safe, especially when you're talking about some of the vehicles that are being loaded into these where they're like 50 upon hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into these vehicles. And, of course, you want them to be safe. And when you're towing a square trailer and you can't see inside, it can be frightening if something were to happen.
That's another really important aspect to it is the first time, I didn't know a lot. I was just getting into, diesel trucks at that time. And I thought, wow, this is a really cool trailer. Like, I want to hang out here. But these guys are traveling all over the U.S., Canada. It's something that takes up a lot of time, and it's being able to accommodate, a lifestyle, the performance, the work, the comfort is something that is really the part that, kind of got me, is like, I'm going to be spending 4, 5, 6 months in this, and I'm going all over, and I'm not near home. What things do I have to, like you said, just be able to watch the vehicle in the trailer while I'm going down the road and make sure things are good, or be comfortable when, I'm at a racetrack, or, any number of different things that are out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and then you get into, of course, the audio side of things, where everyone wants to have a better experience or soundstage. And we can get to extreme levels where we'll be incorporating DSPs into the vehicle, so you can literally get into a surround sound idea while being offset in a vehicle. Like your home sound system, you sit in the middle of a square room, the speakers are equal distances apart, and it's very simple to have that 7.1 surround sound or everything around you to make sense. Where in a vehicle, we actually get into something called time delay. So we'll delay the speakers in time so they hit you at a very specific point, enabling that sound stage. So the driver, of course, again, is having the best experience possible.
That's a whole other level of things I would love to learn and customize one day, but it might exceed my ability to fully understand at this point. But it's like, that's even another part of it. It's just sound and wanting to hear whatever we're listening to, in a crisp, clear way, and just relax with it, or learn something, or listen to a podcast or an audiobook or something. So
No, you can. There's that, and then there's always the people that want to have fun, like at events and shows where you show up, turn it up, walk away, and the thing's just blasting. I'm sure you've seen the SEMA builds that have like 4 or 8 like marine cans in the box, and they've got the extreme setups on the interior, and we've helped build a couple of those and done project builds and full collaboration builds with Mobile Solutions in the States, and manufacturer builds for like Rockford Fosgate, Blam, SQL, Illusion, where they'll actually give us a car or specify a vehicle we're going to be building, and then all of the gear comes in and we have to do a full custom setup just for a show.
Wow. It was it's really interesting is, earlier today I was chatting with Fuel Off-Road about wheels, and then we were talking about it as well, like the challenge we can have, especially with a GM vehicle. I think we both went through the same thing on I think yours is an LBZ and mine was an LMM, but just fitting that in there and making sure with the square fenders we get the round wheel and tire to fully go at full turn. But I wanted to ask you more about your LBZ, and as far as that truck, was it one you've had for a while? Is it something that you're building for power? Is it a daily driver, or what are the details on it?
That build is kind of, well, it's a project vehicle, therefore it's always going to change. But it started off with the idea of doing a show vehicle for work. So we have, in the truck, there's 6 speakers in the front, 4 speakers in the rear, 6 amplifiers, 2 subwoofers. Interior has some modifications to it and everything like that. And then, of course, I can't stand to keep something stock. So I've got a Danville Stage 2 Performance VGT turbocharger that's actually sitting at the powder coating shop. We have parts from BD because, well, we're one of their sponsors, and they're one of ours in a way. My truck's part of the race team program with them, which is always an evolving process. So next thing will be the full race transmission to go into it, but get the up pipes done, manifolds, everything, and then up the fuel, and hopefully have like a 6 or 7 horsepower daily truck, and then start working on the other shop truck, which is at L5P. But as to fitting wheels, 100% a complication with anything GM, I think, is anything to deal with being a guy. We have a square peg or in this case, a square hole and a round peg, and you try to fit the biggest round peg in that square hole, and it doesn't really work. So we've all learned that there is some cutting, hammering, welding. depending on how extreme you wanted to go. Like
Yeah.
my keys are turned all the way down on that LBZ. There's 22 by 12s in it, and there's a 3-inch drop in the rear. It's not extreme, but definitely in order to actually turn, there was a profound amount of cutting and welding just to enable it to actually function and, of course, look good.
It was something I learned the hard way. I went from a Ram to a GM. It's like the Ram, I just threw the wheels and tires on, and then the Duramax, I like took it out. I'm like, man, I really like how this looks, and I go full turn. I'm like, what's that sound? Why did it stop? Why is it back? So it was funny.
Great type of feeling, but it's wheels contacting the body. Yeah.
How would you compare, not necessarily the power, well, I guess you could compare it, say the L5P to the LBZ, because there's a lot of our listeners out there, they have an LLY, LBZ, LMM, and of course the L5Ps are out, and it's like, do I make the jump to it? Is it really a huge difference where I should do that, or should I stay with what I got?
That is a really tough question. One, the people have to either be prepared for just the cost of what tuning and deleting that entire vehicle is, or you're getting it to keep it stock. Like that one, for us, is probably going to jump through some hoops pretty quickly here. Otherwise, it's just got, again, our own style to it for interior tuning and, of course, driver experience. That vehicle is also one of our main tow vehicles. So towing with my personal truck versus the L5P, it's night and day as per how much more comfortable that truck is to tow with. Plus, we've got radar and laser shifters in it. So even if we're going down the hill too fast or being a little bit stupid at times, it's got some added accessories to give you a little bit more protection.
I've heard that from a lot of L5P owners. It's like, man, this truck it's a dream to tow with. Like it's a whole different experience, and I think that's what's been really nice. I think with all the brands is seeing how far they've come with comfort, safety, options, just making it easier to be able to do that, which I think is why most people buy a diesel truck. And then there's the percentage of us that do the turbo upgrades and the fueling and the different things to go double the power on it or triple it or even more. But I wanted to ask you a bit about the BD race team. We've chatted with Brian and Christian and Georgina about the BD race team and the support that it offers to racers out there. And I wanted to take a different angle on it and talk about like the BD events. And Georgina earlier in the week had talked to us about how important those are to be able to connect with the community. And I wanted to ask you, what's it like being able to help in an event and give your guys' support to them in the community to be able to bring the manufacturers together and the truck owners and the racers and just have a good time, learn more about products, and be able to network together.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a great event. Normally, when anything happens that's actually local, like BD's a local company to us, and we'll try to support them as much as they support us and send business, talk with them. Georgina talked about communication there and how well they respond and come up with ideas and plans, and we'll, of course, do the same thing with them. We've been part of BD's events for, I believe, the past 3 years now, from it is something small like working on Brian's boat to working on the vehicles they have to the last white Dodge that was their SEMA build. We had that come to our shop before it shipped down. Outfitted it, but then the event side of things is just trying to get everyone, whether they're an owner, an enthusiast, or even thinking about just getting into that type of scene to get more excited about it, because you can see all of the things that you can do. You don't have to just get a truck and do this. You can go over to every single booth and talk with them and come up with ideas that you might not have even foreseen to be in your vehicle, or an option that you never even thought about. And then the fact that everything goes to charity in those events that we're at is just huge. So why not support a local company and your community? It's a huge win-win.
It's a major shift where we're seeing, well, maybe not a shift isn't the right word, but being able to see a lot of companies take on, it's a huge responsibility to be able to organize these and get everything lined up. But them becoming involved in the community or the region, wherever it is, to be able to do these. And it's something that, when you can see the product or see the truck in person, it's so different than when we look at it, on our phones or on the internet or in a magazine or listen to it, is when you can see, like the sound system you were describing. I'm not sure if you guys have a booth there with a really great sound system, but I mean, I'm sure that probably brings people in and they can hear it and be like, yeah, so something like that where they can hear it or see, the work you guys do. It's like, wow, I need this. I need this for my trailer. I want it, I want my sound system to have this kind of quality and the different factors that go into it.
We try to, of course, have demo vehicles and do whatnot. The last dirt drags, we ran our Dodge down the track just because we had, once again, a couple clients that were there and they're egging us on. And Georgina is the perfect candidate to bug as soon as we're being bugged, and just texting her going, hey, our client wants to race. Can we get on the track? Let's make this happen. And just burst out laughing, and we end up going down, I think we had 2 or 3 passes with that truck, racing a couple different clients. Surprised the owner of that truck, who was one of the partners for us, as he didn't know that we were going to actually race his vehicle. So he was down south, and then he saw pictures of it that night. That was a very fun phone call later on. However, it wasn't as mad being the fact that we did win the races.
I've never done dirt drags, but they look really fun. I think the reason I haven't is I'm so afraid of dirt and where it's going to get and how I get it off. It's not necessarily on the paint, but like all underneath and all the places. I'm like, that's a lot of cleanup that I have when I'm done.
Calculating the hours of pressure washing that night or whichever. I've done the 3 hours of cleaning mud out of my truck once before, and it's a realization of I should never do this again.
Now, for any of our listeners out there that want to know more about what you guys do, maybe they have a SEMA build, maybe they are in BC or in Alberta, or just need, want some advice, want your help, want you guys to collaborate with them, what's the best way for them to find you guys and then be able to contact you?
Well, they can get us on our website, Facebook, Instagram, and even just direct emails if they wanted to get to that level. So we're Certified Autosound.ca. We have the same Instagram page, and then actually 3 different Facebooks. So we have 3 different locations in the Lower Mainland here.
That's cool. I definitely want to check out more of what you guys do, and I love music. I love sound, so I definitely definitely want to learn more, about that. But I appreciate your time today talking to us about what you guys do, and also the LBZ, the L5P, and then the events and what you guys are able to give back to the community and be able to connect, like what you guys are doing to enthusiasts that are out there, and to BD Diesel and to the other, sponsors of the event, and be able to make something that people enjoy going to. They want to go to it. They look forward to it and bookmark it. So it's really cool to be able to learn all that today.
Yeah, there's always things to be excited about. And if you do follow through on Georgina's invitation to check out BD, we'll have you come through either all of the shops, or we'll sit you up right in front of our laser and CNC and get some custom things built in front of you. Take a look.
That is definitely on my to-do list. Is I've got to get my passport. I know that's something that a lot of us down here, it's like I don't remember the percentage, but I saw something how many Americans don't have a passport. I'm like, I need to get it because I need to go to BDD. So like, I want to see what they do. I want to see what you guys do. I want to check that out. And then there's a fishing trip involved, so I definitely want to go, out on a boat and catch some fish. So I'll definitely.
Brian will definitely get some sturgeon on the water. That's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep in touch, let you know when I'm up there, and I'd love to get a tour and see what you guys do.
Definitely. Sounds like a fun time.
Don't forget, Diesel fans, if you guys have any questions for Devin about what he talked about, you got a SEMA build coming up, or just a show trailer that you're going to be using, this year or next year, definitely check them out. Give them a call. Go to their website. They'd be more than happy to chat with you, see if they can help. And also go to BD Diesel Performance on Facebook in the event page, and you can get all the information you need about the BD Diesel dirt drags. Till next time, keep the shiny side up.